Okay, so this is definitely, I don't call it an advanced technique, but it's just a very specialized one. I say that because I don't want you to get the idea that you should be doing this on every GUI you have going forward. This is a very, very specific thing, and is not quote unquote the appropriate type of validation that we typically want to see. But what we can do here is show you how to do a key press handler. So what we need to do is we need to create a function. Um, and we'll say this is the key checker function, for example. And unlike the button press cheer, we need an event that's going to be passed into this key checker. So it's a different type of event here. The button press is just a, hey, the button's pressed. You don't need to know any information, just the fact that the button was pressed. The key checker, though, is going to be a function. Let me just show you real quick. Let me do um, key pressed. This is a great um, little starting technique. If you've never done this type of thing before, start simple. So we're going to do tribute input dot bind. So the method is called bind, and we're going to bind one of, and again, it's a string that gets passed in, one of the event types to the key checker. So the event type we're going to be looking at is called key press as far as the event goes. So there's key press, key release. There's focus in, focus out. A couple of them we can talk about here, but this key press is the one we're gonna play with right now. So let me just show you real quick. If I run this as it goes, um, I'm gonna start pressing keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Notice every time I press a key, it shows up over here. So pretty cool, right? Just like that, every time a key gets pressed, I can do something to respond to it. And I know I've plugged into this event hierarchy, this event system by just simply printing it out. A really great way to start. Don't start typing 100 lines of code. Just say, hey, there you go. So let's just pretend for a second. Let's simplify the problem. Let's just pretend that I only want to allow the person to press the A key, let's just say. So how would I know what key they actually pressed? Well, this is where our event comes in. So let's even just start simpler. Let's just print event, the object that gets passed into us when we do this. So let's take a look at this. So I'm going to press a, oh look, key sim A, B, key sim B, the symbol of the key code. This is the ASCII code. There's the character that gets typed in. There's all sorts of different things that can show up inside of here. It also shows the XY location of where the key press happened, where the mouse was at that point in time. So all sorts of interesting things that's going on with that. So I can, for example, put key sim, I'm sorry, character right here, event.character. I can print out, well, what character was pressed? A, B, C, D, E. Right? So I can see which character was pressed at that point. So as I said, let's pretend then I want to say that, well, if event.character is equal to A. So if event.character is equal to A, then I'm good, right? I don't need to do anything. So I'm just going to pass. Otherwise, if it's not equal to A, I want to stop it from printing out. Now, this is where you need to know a little bit of fact of how this stuff works, how the event stuff works. And what we can do is we can actually return break. So this returns a string. The string break says, okay, don't do anything based off this event. Ignore the fact this event happened, essentially. So I'm going to go through here and I'm type A. And types A, it shows up, right? I'm now typing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm now typing a bunch of extra things on my keyboard. I'm typing like crazy, but nothing shows up unless I type the letter A. And then A shows up down the bottom. So this is, again, very, very specialized. It's not super common, but let's just say our goal is to limit it to some subset of characters. Well, I can now limit it to the letter A. But I actually want more than the letter A. I want A through Z, capital A through Z, and so on. So how would I do that? Well, I'm actually going to create, I'm going to come up top here. I'm going to create a little helper here. I'm going to call it allowed characters. And this is going to be a list of characters, right? So what characters am I going to allow? Well, for example, I'm going to allow the space character. That's okay. I want spaces between there. And I can allow A, and I can allow B. So I can go through and type all these. Let's just start with these just to see how this will work. So I have a list of characters. And the great thing about Python is our syntax for this is super simple. So if I have a list of allowed characters, I can just say if event characters in allowed characters, right? So pretty straightforward. So let's take a look at this. So if I type A, B, space, A, B, space, B, A, space, B, A, space, it works. And everything else I type doesn't. Right? So let's add in the rest of our characters. Now, the working hard, not smart programmer would go through and type the rest of these. I am going to work smart, not hard. I'm going to be a little bit lazy. So here's what I'm going to do. For C character in range of 0 to 26. So why 0 to 26? Well, there's 26 letters in the alphabet. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to append in to allowed characters A through Z and A through Z. So how do I do that? Well, I'm going to take the character of the ordinal value of the letter A plus C. So unfortunately, Python doesn't allow us to iterate A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but what it does let us do is go 0 to 26, and I can take that 0 to 26 and I can add it to the ordinal value of A, which is the ASCII code for A, and then I can turn that back into a character and append that to my allowed characters. And I can do that for A, and I can do that for lowercase a, and then I have all of my alphabet plus the space character. So now A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, none of the special characters, and right now, none of the numbers as well. Okay, so a very clever little workaround here. So how would I do numbers? If I want to allow 0 through 9 into my mix. Well, if you want to challenge yourself, pause it right here and try to add the numbers. If you don't want to challenge yourself, then just let it keep playing. Okay, so I'm assuming if you wanted to pause it, you've paused it by now. Well, what if I did 0 through, what do I want? 10, right? And I'm going to take allowed characters. I'm going to start with 0 and add that in. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Assuming it starts at 0, which it does. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? Our numbers work fine. Our letters work fine. Our special characters don't. So no plus, no minus, no exclamation points, no any of that stuff. And so now when I do cheer, I can have all that stuff show up right there. All right. But interesting twist. I want to delete stuff. I can't. The backspace key doesn't work because I disallowed the backspace key. So let me come back up here real quick. Where am I? Let me take the print out. That's being annoying right now. So I want to allow the allowed characters, but how do I put in the backspace character? How do I put in, let's say you want to put the enter key. Maybe you want to allow that one as well. Well, that is a um, different option. So we can say or event.keySym. Remember that one we printed out before? And we want to allow a couple different characters here. So we want the backspace character, or let's say the delete character. So that either of those characters now will allow us to delete characters right there, which we couldn't do before. So now I can do backspace and it'll work. Or I can do, oh, the arrow characters don't work, but I can come here, I can use the delete character right there, but the arrow characters don't work. So I'd have to add those in specifically. So remember, there's often a side effect to what you want to have happen. But this is a way where I can look at each key one at a time, and if I choose so, I can disallow certain keys. And this is great, particularly if you want to make a little video game. So as people type in keys, maybe some work, some don't, and you can, make that choice happen. So there is a nice little example of an advanced thing. Again, not something you should be doing frequently. It isn't the proper way to do validation, but it is a way of being able to handle one of these key events or the different types of events of how we get that going. Now, again, what you need to decide going forward is if you need to do something special, how do you turn those events into the behavior you want to? This is one example, but there's many ways to do it. So focus in, focus out. Well, you can check the keys when you focus in and focus out. And you could then replace anything that's not valid. You could just take it out. But again, what's the side effect? That means the user types something and you're modifying it. And the user's losing their text, and that might be something that's undesirable for them. So you want to be careful on this, but it is a very powerful mechanism.